Every town has its legends, and the small town of Raven Creek, Maine was no exception. On the outskirts of town, atop a lonely hill, stood an abandoned house that the locals called the House on the Hill. Its windows were long since broken, the wallpaper inside was shabby, and the garden was overgrown with wild grass and brush. But what made this house truly scary were the rumors. It was said that those who dared to go inside never came back the same. Some even disappeared without a trace. One night, three teenagers, Jacob, Emma, and Liam, decided to see if the rumors were true. They were sitting in an old cafe on the edge of town when Jacob, known for his reckless courage, declared, "Jacob, I don't believe in any ghosts. Do you?" Emma, who had always been a bit cautious, shrugged. "Emma, I don't know. But I've heard that people have seen shadows there even when no one was inside." Liam, trying to hide his fear, laughed. "Liam, well, if it's just shadows, then we have a chance to prove it's all fiction." It was agreed. They would go to the house on the hill at midnight. Jacob took a flashlight, Emma had an old notebook to jot down oddities, and Liam a knife just in case. Neither of them wanted to admit they were afraid. The moon lit up the hill as the three friends approached the house. The cracked door was ajar, as if inviting them in. The first thing they felt inside was an icy cold that had nothing to do with the weather outside. The air was heavy, as if the house itself was watching them. "Emma, look!" Emma whispered, pointing to the walls. There were strange symbols scratched out there that they hadn't seen before. Liam, running his finger over one of them, said, "Liam, maybe it's just graffiti. It looks old, though." They started exploring the house. In the attic, they found an old doll with faded eyes. In the basement, they found a mirror with cracked glass that seemed to reflect not only them, but something behind them. But the creepiest thing was what they heard. Faint, barely audible whispers that came from dark corners. As Liam stepped closer to the mirror, he froze. His voice trembled. Something's wrong. In the reflection, he noticed a figure standing directly behind him, but when he turned around sharply, there was no one there. "Stop it, Liam, this isn't funny," Emma said, but there was fear in her voice as well. Jacob, trying to keep his courage up, walked over to the mirror and said, "If there's someone here, show yourself." And then it started. The mirror shone with a dim light and a black liquid flowed from it like blood dripping onto the floor. At that moment, the whispers grew louder, turning into screams. The friends rushed toward the exit, their breathing hitching. But the house didn't seem to want to let them go. The floors creaked, the doors slammed shut on their own, and the shadows in the corners grew closer. When they finally made it outside, the house fell back into silence. Only as they stood on the hill did they notice that Emma was still holding the notebook. On its first page, as if someone had written it for her, were the words, "You have entered. You are now a part of this." Several months passed. Jacob, Emma, and Liam went back to their normal lives, but something had changed. Liam started seeing shadows in his room, even when he was alone. Emma heard whispers like the ones in the house every night. And Jacob, he just disappeared. One day he didn't show up for school, and he was never found. One night Liam, waking up from another nightmare, found that written in blood on his mirror was, "Come home." He realized home hadn't let them go, and probably never would. The legend of the house on the hill remains in Raven Creek to this day. People say that whispers come from it at night, calling for new victims to add to its collection of souls. Those who dare to enter are never the same again.